Ashish Maharshi with us on the broadcast. Ashish, you were making the point that neither an accused nor a witness at this point.
Yeah, as of now, we can say that he is neither an accused nor a witness. But his certainly role was highlighted when it comes to the charge sheets that have been filed till now. If you see the number of remand notes till now. And as Arunima was mentioning, there is one video call which has been mentioned by both the agencies, whether it is CBI or an ED. They mentioned basically that, there was something called a South group where people from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh are involved. And we all know that one of the senior most member of parliament from Andhra Pradesh, Magunta Srinivasulu Reddy, as well as the daughter of the Chief Minister of Telangana is basically under the ambit of investigation. And it was mentioned that, when Vijay Nair was basically, trying to get a deal struck with the South group, they basically did a video call, and he basically, Kejriwal in the video call very clearly mentioned to the South group that he's my person and, you can basically strike a deal with him. So his role has been highlighted. Interestingly, we know that Manish Sisodia has not been able to get bail. What has he told the investigative agencies during the investigation, whether he has said that there is some sort of role of Arvind Kejriwal or not, that is also going to be critical. But certainly this is a big step because a sitting Chief Minister of Delhi, he's being summoned by
Central
Bureau of Investigation.
Ashish, you've tracked this case and the nitty-gritties of it, the charge sheets, the multiple FIRs that have been filed, the multiple charge sheets and the FIRs that have been filed. Help us understand Vijay Nair and his alleged involvement in the Liquorgate scandal. And there was a certain call that you were talking about. In that call, was it said that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal was also present? What is the link of Arvind Kejriwal which is being probed by the agency if you were to come to the nuts and bolts of it?
The most important aspect here would be that how this basically the alleged twists and turns were brought into the entire the liquor policy.
Yeah.
They are, if you see, they say that, the entire policy was basically changed. This policy was changed at the behest of the South Group. The South Group was basically staying in a hotel in Delhi. And certainly, it was changed by the South Group. And, if you see this entire policy came in a pen drive.
Yeah.
And if you see the statement of the secretary to Manish Sisodia, he has basically confessed before the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI, saying that the commission was increased from 6 to 12%, which was neither in the part of the GOM or the part of the cabinet.
Yeah.
But suddenly there was a change that was brought by this, the interference of the South Group.
Yeah.
And these changes were made and a pen drive was handed over to C. Arvind in the presence of Arvind Kejriwal.
Right.
So there are two areas of concern for Arvind Kejriwal. One is about the call that we were talking about, the video call. Secondly, when this entire twist and turns were brought into the alleged liquor policy, which was basically done to basically garner some sort of benefits from the South Group. Yeah,
so Ashish, if I've understood correctly, just to reiterate for our viewers, the big breaking news at this point in time, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the Central Bureau of Investigation. He has been summoned for the 16th of April. This pertains to the liquor scam, the scam which is under investigation by the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate. At this point, the capacity in which Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned is neither of a witness or of an accused. But as my colleague Ashish Maharshi and Arunima have been reporting, there are certain links that the CBI is looking for. One is a video call with Vijay Nair, one of the key accused in this case. The second is the manner in which policy was twisted and tweaked for allegedly getting some kind of benefits and kickbacks. Now, to establish that and to figure out the role of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the Central Bureau of Investigation has summoned him. What is the BJP saying? We had Mr. Amit Malviya from the BJP. He argued that if the opposition thinks this is some kind of a witch hunt or a political vendetta, they can go to the courts of law. And upon any kind of application in a court of law, they can seek any kind of relief that they want. It's a political argument to say that ED and CBI are being misused. They are merely doing their job. Let's see how this progresses. Other than legal, this is going to be a big political story moving forward. You already have the number 2 man in the Aam Aadmi Party and in the Delhi government government, who was former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, who is in custody right now. Satyendra Jain, who has been lodged in jail for months and he has not been able to secure a bail at all. There are reactions which are coming in on the story. We'll continue tracking all of them. Ashish Mehershi continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Ashish, coming back to you, let's talk about the policy kickbacks and the manner in which the policy was changed for the alleged benefits to the Aam Aadmi Party.
So, basically, if you see what has been highlighted by the CBI and the ED is that there was basically a criminal conspiracy where the entire policy was tweaked after basically there was a deal that was struck. There was an alleged deal that was struck between the Aam Aadmi Party senior netas and the South Group, the alleged South Group, which involved senior people from Andhra Pradesh as well as Telangana. If you see Magunta Srinivaslu Reddy, he's a member of parliament, and Kavita, Kavita, who's the daughter of the sitting chief minister of Telangana. Now, what they have been able to find out till now is that there was around 100 crore rupees deal that was struck between the manufacturers, the wholesalers, as well as the retailers, and ultimately these licenses were basically given in lieu of certain bribes. It is not only this; it is about also the percentage of money as commissions that was increased for the wholesale trade. It was initially decided to increase the wholesale trade commission from 5% to 6%, which was an increase of 1%. But suddenly, when the South Group got into the entire thing, the percentage was increased from 6 to 12%, and that 6% was basically coming as 100 crore rupees of kickback. That was basically in lieu of favors being granted.
Ashish, if I were to ask you very simply, and as we talk about the fate of Arvind Kejriwal, how this is going to play out legally speaking, because right now he's not an accused, he's not been charge sheeted, he's not named in the FIR, forget charge sheet. Why is it that the likes of Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain have not been able to secure a bail? One argument that the opposition often raises in the public domain is this is a witch hunt, this is a vendetta, these are fudged up cases, there is no evidence on record. All that being said, none of these arguments have held up in a court of law.
So, these arguments, as I have always said, that no case, even if you say there is a political witch hunt, the law basically looks at evidence, they look at truth. And beyond that, they do not look at anything. That is what the law looks at. And in case these cases were fudged, in cases these cases could not stand on their own legs in the court of law, Satyendra Jain would have been out. He would have been out on bail. Same is the case with Manish Sisodia. So the investigative agencies, they knock your door and they don't knock your door until and unless they have absolute evidence in their hand. And in case they decided to arrest Satyendra Jain, there was evidence of money laundering, where the evidence was on how huge amount of money was laundered through the Kolkata-based shell companies, and it was brought into Delhi, and then huge amount of land was bought. And similarly, in the case of Manish Sisodia, being the excise minister, policy was twisted and turned. There are statements, there is evidence which shows that, there was a violation of the policy. People who were basically not supposed to be in different domains, like, if somebody is into manufacturing, you can't get into retail. If somebody is in retail, you can't get into wholesale. Dummy companies were basically operating, and it was an absolute violation of the policy which was happening. Ultimately, if you see, they have been able to find out there was a person called the person who was basically representing Kavita on a company, and that equity was only divested because there was certain sort of share that was basically...
That's the charge that the agency is probing right now. Ashish, there are 2 points I want to talk to you about. First, let's come to the Kavita factor. The South lobby or the South cartel. It's one big part of the investigation. The Central Bureau of Investigation, the Enforcement Directorate, they have had multiple visits to the south of the country in different cities, questioned different people. Kavita, different rounds of questions. She's not an accused in this case so far. But the South cartel or the South lobby, how critical that facet is in this entire investigation, and are there any alleged links of Arvind Kejriwal with that lobby?
As I said earlier as well, basically it's about a call. The call basically was done by Vijay Nair. There was a video call. And on the other side, there were people from the South lobby, which basically were basically looking at whether Arvind Kejriwal or the government is basically in Delhi going to support or not the entire change in policy that the South Group was looking at. And then there's this alleged video call, basically in that Arvind Kejriwal has given assurance to the other side, saying that Vijay Nair is basically my man and you don't need to worry about anything. So here, this call, and as I said, then the way entire policy was twisted and turned into the favor of the South Group, where the percentage of commission was increased from 6% to 12%. And we all know that, they have been able to find out, the CBI and the ED, they both have been able to find out that the South lobby people were basically staying in a hotel in Delhi.
Okay.
They used the business center. And interestingly, they also photocopied the policy that they drafted. Okay. So the entire policy was drafted outside and it was implemented by the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi.
Ashish, stay with us on the broadcast. There are many facets that I would like to talk to you about. Right now, there's a reaction coming in from the BJP. Let's cut across to that.
सब पूछेंगे आपने जो घोटाले चारों तरफ किए हैं, पानी के बंटवारे में पानी की घोटाला पड़ा हुआ है, स्कूलों में कमरों का घोटाला हुआ है, जमुना सफाई का घोटाला हुआ है, आपने बसों खरीद में बसों का घोटाला किया है, सबके मुखिया आप हैं और आपको जवाब देना पड़ेगा। अब आपको मालूम पड़ रहा है कि इन घोटालों के कारण से किस प्रकार से दिल्ली तबाह हुई है। जब दिल्ली तबाह हुई तो आपसे पूछताछ वाजिब है, होनी भी चाहिए। आपके सारे मंत्री जेल जाते जा रहे हैं जिनको आप कट्टर ईमानदार बताया करते थे। आज उन मंत्रियों की भी चीख निकल रही है, कट्टर ईमानदार ये नहीं है, आप कट्टर बेईमान हैं। आपको लूटने के लिए आप आए हैं और लूटने की नीयत आपकी साफ साफ जाहिर होती है। जो व्यक्ति आया था परिवर्तन करने के लिए आया था, आज 10 करोड़ का स्विमिंग पूल के अंदर वो स्नान करता है। जो परिवर्तन करने के लिए आया था, सादा जीवन बिताने के लिए, अब ऐशो आराम की जिंदगी जीता है। जो आया था परिवर्तन करने के लिए कि मैं भ्रष्टाचार नहीं करूंगा, पूरा जहाँ पे 1-1 लाख रुपए के समोसे बांटे जाते हैं और 10-10 हज़ार रुपए की थालियां खाई जाती हैं, जिन्होंने दिल्ली के जीएसटी के पैसे को बर्बाद करके रख दिया। जो दिल्ली का विकास होना चाहिए उसको बर्बाद करके रख दिया। सड़कों का निर्माण होना चाहिए था, जमुना साफ होनी चाहिए थी, फ्री।
Well, that's the reaction coming in from the BJP. We also have Ravula Sridhar Reddy from the BRS, Mr. Majid Memon from the TMC joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to both of you. Thank you so much for speaking. Mr. Reddy, coming to you first. How do you see this move by the CBI? They are saying they are acting as per law, doing their job.
Hello.
Ravula Reddy, I hope you can hear me, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, the Central Bureau of Investigation has summoned Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. This pertains to the Delhi Liquorgate scam. At this point in time, Mr. Kejriwal is not an accused or a witness in this case, but his alleged links to the liquor policy scam are being probed by the CBI. How do you see this development, sir?
One should be surprised if he is not called for the investigation, because you know the modus operandi of Narendra Modi government today. Every opposition leader, whoever questions Narendra Modi and whomever Narendra Modi cannot win on ground, they will be booked in some case. They will be, implicated in some false case. Cases will be fabricated against them, and they will call for investigation. They will harass them, and already they have put few leaders in jail. And this is going to happen till the general elections in 2024 happens and completed. And at one end, Narendra Modi's government is completely in corruption, and other end they call others corrupt. And we see this is a witch hunt, a case of political vendetta, an attempt to suppress the opposition voices, and in the same direction and in the same activity, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal also has been called today. There is no surprise, this will go on, and entire opposition today realize the fact that Narendra Modi government is out to malign everybody, book cases everybody, suppress everybody, but we are going to continue to fight the autocratic policies of Narendra Modi government and BJP.
There is also this entire angle of the South lobby, the links of an alleged cartel which are being probed. The role of K. Kavita is also under scanner. How do you see that part of the investigation? Because it's moving forward, high-profile names are being summoned, and who knows what may happen next?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
The entire case is false. It is fabricated. They have targeted AAP and BRS party in this because they wanted power in Telangana, so that they wanted to trouble us. They wanted to malign our image, and they could not win Mr. Kejriwal on ground. They have lost badly even in a municipal election. So they are going to do this. And we know that we understand how they are doing it, and we will fight that. And the case is a big joke. Only BJP, the central government, and CBI knows what exactly the case is.
Okay.
The people of this country never understood. There are no evidence. There is no money found.
Well, sir,
there is no evidence found.
if there is no evidence, I'm sure the courts of this country will take action. I request you to stay with us on the broadcast. Mr. Majid Memon of the TMC is also with us on the show. Mr. Memon, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by CBI. Your thoughts?
You see, the atmosphere in the country and the attending circumstances preceding the call for questioning of the Chief Minister of Delhi creates a very strong suspicion in an absolutely unbiased and fair mind of the people of this country. I am not speaking as a part of the opposition political party.
Yeah.
I'm speaking as a lawyer, as a citizen of India. And I am just suggesting that look here as to what is happening. Every political leader whom they cannot defeat, you see on the ground, is being witch hunted, is being called, harassed, questioned, arrested, kept in custody. Now, how long will this continue? And I think people are able to understand the name of the current establishment. They are trying to conquer people by use of agencies, by abuse of law, and therefore I think there is going to be an end of this very soon.
Let's see, sir, how this transpires. Manjinder Singh Sirsa of the BJP and Anju Mara from the JDU are also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Sirsa, you heard the TMC and, the BRS. They argue that this is a political witch hunt and vendetta, and opposition leaders in the run-up to 2024 are being targeted.
So have you ever seen any thief saying कि मैंने तो चोरी की है? Everybody says कि I'm so innocent, I'm so pious. And now when it comes to a liquor scam, everybody knew that how they increased the duty profit margin from 2% to 12% to business to the few selected people who are the close friends of Arvind Kejriwal. And for that purpose, they made a 3 ministers committee, and that committee has recommended that from 2% commission, it should be increased to 12%. So tell me one business in this country where government gives you a fixed profit of 12% and then they say कि हम तो कट्टर ईमानदार हैं. And none other than the close side of Arvind Kejriwal, whom Arvind Kejriwal used to visit on his birthday parties, on his children's birthday parties, Dinesh Arora, who is a witness now in this case, and who before the magistrate had said that how this money was transferred to Goa, to Gujarat, by Manish Sisodia, Arvind Kejriwal, and then the BRS leader's daughter, Kavita.
Okay.
So the day I reported this, the day I filed this complaint, everybody was saying, इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं है. And now the CBI and ED has found crores and crores rupees in their accounts. Cash has been recovered. And Manish Sisodia is behind bars, and many other are behind bars from last 7-8 months.
Well, we also had Mr. Amit Malviya with us on the broadcast some time ago, and he argued the same thing, sir, that if there's nothing in the cases and there is no evidence on record, the courts will throw out these cases. They will not prosecute on the basis of this. Anju Mara of the JDU is also joining us. Anjum जी, आपकी प्रतिक्रिया चाहूंगी. दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री को सीबीआई ने समन किया है.
देखिए, ये कोई आश्चर्यजनक बात और बहुत ताज्जुब करने वाली बात नहीं है. जब से हम लोगों ने देखा है, और हम लोग इसको कहते भी रहे हैं पहले भी, कि जितनी विपक्षी एकता हम लोग की बन रही है, हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, उतना ही तेजी से केंद्र की सरकार इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसियों को, अपने विपक्षियों को कंट्रोल में नियंत्रित करने के लिए वो कार्रवाई कर रही है. केंद्र सरकार संवैधानिक संस्था का वो राजनीतिक हथियार के रूप में इस्तेमाल कर रही है. ये बहुत एक खतरनाक उनकी कोशिश है. तो ये बहुत आश्चर्य का विषय है. मेरा एक सीधे सा सवाल है कि जो उनके यहाँ लोग हैं, नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नितेश संदेशरा, मेहुल चोकसी, विश्व का सबसे बड़ा स्कैम अडानी स्कैम, सीबीआई को सीबीआई उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं करती है? क्यों खामोश है वहां पे? निश्चित रूप से आप देख लीजिए,
बीजेपी की तरफ से जो तर्क आया है, अभी कुछ समय पहले मैं उनसे भी बात कर रही थी, उनका ये कहना है कि अगर इन केसों में कुछ भी नहीं है, किसी भी तरीके का साक्ष्य नहीं है, प्रमाण नहीं है, एविडेंस नहीं है, तो इस देश में न्यायालय है, अदालतें हैं, आप अदालत के सामने जाइए और बोलिए कि मुझे गलत तरीके से गिरफ्तार किया गया है और अदालत आपकी मदद करेगी. सत्येंद्र जैन या मनीष सिसोदिया को अभी तक कोई राहत नहीं मिल पाई है, बेल नहीं मिल पाई है, इसलिए क्योंकि प्राइमा फेसी, प्राथमिक रूप से प्रथम दृष्टा उनके खिलाफ किसी न किसी तरीके के आरोप हैं और दूसरी तरफ कहीं ना कहीं साक्ष्य भी है, इसलिए कोर्ट्स ने उनको अभी तक किसी तरीके की राहत नहीं दी है.
और देखिए, हम लोग जुडिशरी में, न्यायपालिका में विश्वास करने वाले लोग हैं, इसमें कहीं दो राय नहीं है कि जो भी फैसला है जुडिशरी का हम लोग उसको मानते हैं। लेकिन जो इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसियां काम कर रही हैं, जो उनकी टाइमिंग है, उस पर तो सवाल उठेगा ना, और लाजमी है सवाल उठना। हमारे यहाँ देखिए कि आदरणीय तेजस्वी यादव जी पे 8 साल से सीबीआई में 8 साल पहले वो केस दर्ज था, वो केस बंद हो गया। जैसी विपक्ष महागठबंधन बिहार में 7 पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां एकजुट हुई, आप देखिए वो फिर से पुनः इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू हो गया। हमारा कहना है कि ये इतने सारे लोग जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के संरक्षण में, उनकी सुरक्षा में, ये करप्शन में लिप्त हैं, जो लोग कभी भ्रष्टाचारी माने जाते थे और आज उनकी पार्टी में दल में गए हैं, तो बीजेपी लॉन्ड्री जो एक लोटस लॉन्ड्री के रूप में हो गई, वो निकलते हैं और उसको सर्टिफिकेट दिया जाता है कि आप अब संस्कारी है, भ्रष्टाचारी नहीं है। सो मेनी नाम है वो अगर अब समय रहे तो मैं वो दिखा दूं।
नहीं अंजुम जी, मैं आपका जो मूल तर्क है वो समझ गई हूँ। आई गेट द ब्रॉड आर्गुमेंट दैट यू आर मेकिंग अंजुमारा। आई अप्रिशिएट यू जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्ट एंड आई थैंक यू फॉर योर टाइम। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्ट। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।